This class covers pulmonary physiology and pulmonary diseases. Let's review some pulmonary function terms. These should be a repeat from XPhys 1 with Dr. Bowers. We measure pulmonary function by spirometry. We have that capability on our metabolic cart in order to measure these lung volumes, and we'll do this in lab. So these are a review of some of the terms. We'll actually measure your forced vital capacity. So you're going to take a maximal deep breath in, so your maximal inspiration, and then try to blow everything out of your lungs. So that is an indicator of your forced vital capacity. The size of your lungs has a lot to do with your body size, particularly your height. So a taller person's going to have much bigger lung volumes than a shorter person. The residual volume is the volume that is left in your lungs after you've performed your forced vital capacity. So that is the volume you cannot get out, or when you have the wind knocked out of you in a sports situation, that is when your residual volume has been knocked out of your lungs. That also can be measured. It is a little trickier to measure that. We don't have the capabilities with our metabolic cart, but typically when you're looking at something like underwater weighing and body composition, you either have to measure or you have to estimate someone's residual volume. What we're also going to measure in the lab is forced vital capacity in 1 second, named FEV1. So how much of air can you blow out within 1 second? And then in trying to look at your, in looking for people who may have lung disease, how much of that? What is the FEV1%? So the percent of the FEV1 divided by the forced vital capacity. And that might be an indicator of someone who may have lung disease. For example, if some of you have asthma, you might have a slightly lower FEV1 and FEV1%. And then also your tidal volume, you might see that abbreviated V sub T or TV, and that is the amount of air that you normally inhale, exhale with every breath. So typically it's about a ½ liter, and when we do the lab, you'll be able to actually see that. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So there are 3 diseases that are considered COPD. That's what it's the abbreviation for. And most people, if you hear COPD, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, and chronic asthma. So what these diseases can do is create changes in the lung. They may limit people in their normal activities. Typically in testing for COPD, they will use the pulmonary function test that we previously described, particularly looking at the FEV1. The person may also have a graded exercise test, and in addition to their ECG monitoring, they're probably also going to do VO2 max if they have a metabolic cart, and do the spirometry functions. They may also monitor blood gases in the PO2 and the PCO2. So it's a little trickier measure to get because you need an arterial blood sample for that. And they'll also use the little device in the photo here called a pulse oximeter. And that is a way to measure your oxygen saturation. Most people are going to be, nearly 100% saturated all the time unless you have some sort of lung disease.